My name's General Montoya. I'm the Adjutant General for the state of New Mexico. For the last 8 years, besides all the overseas deployments and the natural disasters, we've had soldiers on the New Mexico border. The last 20 years, we've continued to work with supporting the border agents, the customs and border agents, and have seen significant changes through the last 15 years. The developments of combining the agencies, the building up of border agents on the border, the new equipment coming out has tremendously aided in the security of our nation. In the last 8 years, the last 5 years, the last 3 years, we've seen a significant change in our border due to a lot of different areas. In New Mexico, our economy's never been one that has resourced a number of crossings. So our security has always been a little bit stronger, probably for different reasons, just with the nexus of the border agents, but not only on the border agents. We've had a continuous force on the border that helped support border agents in areas that maybe they were not able to get to as easy, like our mountainous areas, areas where there wouldn't be sensors. We've also maintained the sensor program for them, both the air and the ground sensors, to make sure we support border agents if they get caught off guard or by themselves out there. Border agents have been amazing this entire time, and that hasn't changed. They've truly been amazing. The number has changed, and that's been really a helpful aid, probably the most important aid on our border security. The soldiers' missions have changed over the years. At some point we were doing checkpoints where we'd actually check the material coming through. We would take apart vehicles if there were drugs in them, to now being intelligence centers, becoming S2 intelligence analysts, and actually submitting our own intel outlook of the situation. We also have gone to points where 2 different presidents just put us on the border just to have a presence, to look over across, make sure that we were visible from everybody, just as a deterrence, which is effective also. And again, with the cool equipment that we have, the helicopters, the optical visions that we have, the forward-looking radars that we have has really helped secure. So I think that's what's changed a lot too in the last 6-7 years is technology.
Have you engaged in any gunfights with any narcotraficantes in your time along the border?
Not one. And New Mexico, again, you can't compare New Mexico to Texas or Arizona in the number of crossings. It's always been pretty much in control. I haven't seen any of the violence come across that you hear about. In fact, it seems to be more secure. There always is a concern on the borders from just the people there because of the media that they hear about. I continue to go down the border once every 3 weeks just to check on the things that I hear about.
Right.
Still see pretty constant. We'll see ups and downs on the drug traffic, but it's been pretty constant.
Do you see any need to have a sustained military presence on the border? Is that something that has helped, you think?
Yeah,
or?
Absolutely. Absolutely, for a number of different reasons. One, there are certain missions that the border agents need quick reaction forces to, that only the guardsmen are trained to do and have the equipment to do. The other is that I keep a constant force on the border that I can adjust from different places instead of their citizen soldiers, guardsmen.
Right.
Instead of pulling them away from their civilian jobs, doing planning, doing resource, doing logistical training, and then get them out there when it's too late. You have that constant force that's out there and continues to operate on the border. The other thing it helps the nation is that I have a constant force on the border that if I have to deploy them anywhere in the world, there's a force there that I continually use to do some advanced training with. That becomes a cadre, if you will, that can be moved anywhere in the world. Also, that same cadre can be used in the state for rescue missions. It helps in all 3 areas: the border security, the nation's security abroad, and our state security. So it's very beneficial. The most important part of any operations is relationships.
Right.
And with a constant military force working with the border agents and customs and all the different federal agencies means a continuous relationship. We've done this before when we've had to break off from different law enforcements. It breaks the relationship very quickly. You wouldn't believe how quickly.
Right.
So you have to develop that relationship again, that trust again, and then continue to move on from there. I would never remove the National Guard from the border.
And then just finally, briefly, could you comment on the drop in crime, or rather the lack of crime along the border?
In New Mexico only.
Okay.
That's my state. There is always the crime that continues to go on, that the local law enforcement agencies are the best to address that, and they do a great job. The border agents we work with do an amazing, each individual is an amazing person in its own, and has controlled New Mexico probably better than anybody could. Just a great effort there. So you can't compare us to the rest of the nation. What I say in New Mexico is not going to use the word control, but a great team down there that does a great part of the business.
Thank you very much.